is tense, man. Hip hop is intense right about now. Back in the day, hip hop was party time. It was a fun thing, you know what I'm saying? Even though it was dissing going on back and forth, it was still a fun thing, you know what I'm saying? As pioneers, how do y'all feel about that today? What's happening with the art form?
Well, as we know, recently we lost Tupac, and I feel like that was a direct result of the gangsterism and the violence in hip hop. In the early days, we lost Scott LaRock, KRS-One's DJ. In our day, growing up, there was a boundary to it. There was a limit to it. We took our energy, we took our anger, and we channeled it into skills, which is what Treach from Noise by Nature touched on. He channeled his anger into his music. The youth needs some type of guidance. They need education. Hip-hop is evolving, but what's happening is we're experiencing some suffering, but it's necessary. People need to see that where that leads. You know, to me, gangsterism leads to jails, institutions, and death. You got teenagers in jail, 15 years old, doing double life. Right? You know what I'm saying? You got documentaries like Scared Straight that brought that up. So people need to know where that can lead also. We're moving towards a new millennium. There's a lot of violence in our society, period. Okay. But what rappers are doing is they're saying to themselves, let me share my experience. But in a sense, they're using it to make money. Some of them are using it to make money off of it.
And nobody wants to be responsible for the consequences, what comes behind it. You know what I mean? Like Ed Lover was saying back in New York, you know, a lot of rappers are speaking out and saying things, you know what I mean, and just saying that I'm not a role model and kind of using that as a scapegoat, as opposed to saying, if I say this might cause that, so let me really kind of make sense before I just blurt out and say things that cause, like the East Coast, the West Coast, or the individual violence that we've seen for decades. I mean, for years now, for the past years of the new.
We are role models, and that's not by choice. You know what I'm saying? Once you come out there and you're doing your thing, there's kids out there going, yo, I want to be like him. So you didn't come out there saying, I want to be a role model when I come out, but you automatically open yourself to that when you come out there in the public's eye like that.
You should accept everything that comes with the territory,
you know,
of being an artist.
Which raises a real funny question. You have a lot of people who say, I don't care what you listen to, I ain't no role model.
Right, I understand that.
I'm not a role model, you see what I'm saying? And I can't be upset with this cat if this cat has put down what his experience is, and he's like, look, don't even look to me to lead your children.
Yeah, but you got a lot of people out there that went through those same experiences that person went through, and they're looking at you like, Dad, how did you handle that? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it's like, oh, that's the way he handled that? And it worked for him. Let me try that. Right there, you're a role model. Right there, because they're going to follow the way you got out of it. So it's not by choice.
Yeah, and some of these people are also parents themselves, so they are a role model in their home to begin with. So if you're going to be a role model out there to anybody else, they have to start from home. You know, so automatically you are a role model. But to answer that question as far as rap is going to change or next, I feel rap can change, and it will get better, but it's like people like us who have to work on that, you know, because just like you said, people do, if you install something in someone, eventually, you know, you can make change. You got to start somewhere, you know, and I think it needs to go back to its origin, to its right, to where, right.
It was all about having a good time.
And we can do that. We can, yes, we can, because just like we, you know, you could fill people's minds up with violence or whatever have you, whatever you want to call it, you can also put positive things into people's minds, and you keep doing that and keep doing that, and eventually they accept it. I feel, you know, it'll be absorbed.
And like, I don't see too much wrong with certain like beefs and too many, you know, battles that certain people have, because at one time when LL and Ice-T had their beef and it got to a point where it got too heavy, Zulu Nation stepped in, and they regulated. They brought them together, sat them face to face. Today, ain't nobody trying to respect nobody to bring somebody to a table, because everybody feel like, I'm my own man, I got my own guns, I don't need nobody to regulate. We respected Zulu Nation, so that's why the meeting was called. We need that respect. That should stay there, so that no matter where we go, where we perform, we know that if we get out of hand, somebody will regulate.